Let me give you a couple excerpts from the Moody's article, and then we'll go from there. A report this week from Moody's Investor Services found that cyber risk will likely remain high for the healthcare sector, leading to the potential loss of revenue, increased expenses, and elevated scrutiny. A large amount of the sensitive patient data held by the industry will make it a rich target for attacks, particularly in the form of ransomware, researchers predicted. Still, they said for many credit risk and mitigated by healthcare systems, strong liquidity and large scale, which often allows them to continue critical patient care amid cyber-related disruption. So those are the things that are mitigating the risk that they were talking about. Moody's pointed to ransomware as a particular danger, flagging the vast amounts of healthcare providers' sensitive data as juicy prizes for bad actors. Hackers assume providers will need to restore access to patient data quickly. Although the FBI recommends that the victims not pay ransom, Moody's researchers observed that ransomware offers hackers the possibility of a large payout for conducting an attack, as they demand payment for allowing files to be restored and preventing the release or sale of stolen data. And then they go on to talk about some other thing. Efforts to invest in cybersecurity will potentially get a boost at the federal level. You're going to have the Biden administration did an executive order and those kinds of things. And so we have some things coming down the pike in a lot of different directions. You know, how much has we talked about digital transformation, but how much has cybersecurity become a top of mind conversation within health IT these days?
I think it depends on the organization. It's certainly top of mind in front of the conversation for every conversation that we have with our partners, with our customers, clients, however you want to perceive them. We really see them as partners. It's top of mind because it has to be integral to these digital transformations in order to keep the organization secure and to keep the patient data safe, right? So if you're talking about remote patient monitoring, if you're talking about advanced inpatient monitoring, if you're talking about IoT for hospital operations, if you're talking about AI, machine learning, deep learning, if you're talking about research, anything like that you're talking about, typically it increases your attack surface. So there's more ways for the bad actors to get in. I don't know if you saw, it was one of those darkly humorous articles that I happened to read in the last few weeks, but there was a major casino that was hacked through a smart thermometer in one of their fish tanks. It's you have to laugh to keep from crying, I guess. But the more things are connected, the better things operate until there's a cybersecurity breach. So keeping visibility on everything that's on the network, keeping it secured, having defense in depth, and to the extent that you can start to employ things like AI to combat cybersecurity threats, to be able to analyze traffic and see when things aren't looking normal, aren't operating as they should, or seem out of the norm, and then taking action on that. Those are, I think, really key steps. The same for the app ecosystem. If you're putting an app in the hands of thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of users, you've got to consider that vastly increases the number of people that could potentially let a bad actor into your system and take appropriate precautions. So every conversation that we have when it comes to technology and healthcare has to also be a cybersecurity discussion.